Frogate Racing presents Show Us Your Tips, a whirlwind look at the Friday night meetings coming up in the wet tomorrow in the East Coast here, Beaver. We've had a brief let up and come back. We're going to dive into Friday night very quickly and then tackle in depth the Hunter and the Cranbourne card as well. But let's get into our contractually obliged midweek show, which we're a bit late on. We'll kick off down at Moonee Valley where there's rail coming. The rail is in the true. Rain coming even. Rail is in the true. So let's watch for bias throughout the night. We've seen when it rains, the inside can give out, or we've seen it play on pace under lights. So I'm not quite sure which way to go. We'll keep an eye on that. But we will kick off with the Jericho qualifier over 1,300 metres. Are you starting off the day or the night with a bet?
Yeah, mate. So just after our short 2-day spell, we're back. We'll rip through Friday night here, mates, because it's not a lot to talk about. So whip through a few bets here. Look, my value bet of the night actually comes up in the first race, and that's number 8, Frankenstar. Coming off 2 nice wins, 4th up, out to the 3,800. This is a bit of a lottery, but I think it might get the distance. And at 10-1 on Frankenstar for me.
Same race. I like True Marvel as one of the better bets on the night. Actually, I liked that it won over the 3,000 down at the Valley 2 back. Came back up to Sydney, had to basically barrier trial run around in a 1,900 metre. I suspect it's gone back down there to target the Jericho. So this will be a bit of a target to get there. And I think it'll run really well. In the first, where do you want to head for your next bet on the card?
Yeah, my next bet doesn't come up until race 3, mate. Number 12, resuming from the Mar Eustace stable, Seacole. I think its first 2 outings weren't too bad before it went for a spell. Finished less than 2 lengths behind Lightsaber. I think that sets up well here for it to run a good first up performance in a race with not a lot of form to get a grip on or a couple of new starters. So yeah, Seacole for me.
I'll take us to race 4 for the next, which is the 955. But I like the resumption of Fake Love. Had to burn a bit of petrol to get across the field first up, and may have a similar setup here. But the fitness will make a massive difference. You'd see it just pop there in the last 150, 200 or so. I think it can get an easier lead here, and I think it's going to be very hard to beat. A 3-year-old second up, Acclaim to boot. What are you thinking there?
Yeah, mate. Best bet of the night for me, Fake Love. So support you there.
Anything for the next couple?
Nothing in the 5th for me, mate. And the next one that comes up for me is in the 6th. Again, another little bit of value on the night. Confrontational. Was well found last start. They backed it and it duly saluted. Up a bit in class here, but I think it's still a winnable race. The way it finished off at Mornington, liked it, put a space in them. I think around the $8 mark, it's a great each way bet.
In this 7th, a couple of odds here I'm happy to play in a tricky race, but the 2 are Arrowance, who is going really well this prepped. I like its win last time. Outside gate here, so we'll just see how the track's playing by this stage, but I think it's over the odds around a $17 mark. And See You in Spring resumed in town chasing General Bow and Rand Veer in a pretty good race. It's a talented horse and didn't resume, actually, went to town. And before that had a nice win. Back a bit in grade to a 64, and I think, again, at double figures will run well here. Anything for you in this race?
Yeah, mate, I like Sistine Explorer. I think it's a really nice bet as well at some nice odds around the $6.50, $7 mark at the moment. Won well first up, resuming very nicely. Thought that was a really, really good win when well found in the market. But before that, when it went out for a spell, it finished, that's only second start, finished 4th behind Agentia, who has big wraps on it. So I think it could be hard to beat given its first up tilt, if it reproduces something to that.
And anything to wrap the day up there?
Yeah, look, hard race the last. Plenty of horses coming off wins here, but I like Jump the Broom from the Hawks stable. I thought it was a really good win first up, and then they put it straight out. Ran nicely in a jump out at Flemington. Its first up win was against Too Much to Bear. Beat it fairly comfortably. This might have a little bit of ability.
Yeah, and it's only a 64. I'm actually surprised by the price. When I went through this race, I thought it might have
Yeah,
been
me too.
250, but didn't not the strongest maiden, but it's only going to 64 grade and definitely has upside. You've covered off quite well there. I think it's the other decent bet on the program. So very quickly for progripracing.com.au, your best and value at the Valley.
Yeah, look, I had Fake Love as my best bet, just in front of Jump the Broom. I like those two. And my value bet is in the first. Whatever I tipped in that, Frankenstar.
Rankins, yep. I'll make my best. I'll top and tail the meeting. True Marvel, I think, will run very well. And I think that Jump the Broom will do the same. My value was the race 7, the couple I mentioned there, Arrowants, and see you in spring. We head to Canterbury as well, the first of the Canterbury Friday nights, which are great nights out if you happen to be in Sydney. Unfortunately, this one will be wet. The rail is in the 3-metre mark. It is heavy. I've treated it as looking for the best horse when I did the form, but always keep an eye on the rails in run there at Canterbury. Where do you want to kick off with your bets on at Canterbury?
Yeah, look, nothing in the first for me. Too hard to get a guide on
All the
in
Wallers, yeah.
this with the wet form. My first one that I did like in a tricky affair with not a lot of form to go by is Zabalenka, number 9, James McDonald aboard. Only had the one start for a 5th at Hawkesbury, but I think it can be further improved by that and that experience. And prior to that, it trialled really well. So I think if it handles the going, could be hard to beat.
Very good. That was in race, race 3,
2.
wasn't it? Oh, 2, it was 2.
No, race 2.
Race 2. I'm going to head to race 4 for my first bet here, which is Green Flash. Very nice. It took care of most of these last time, is all I've got to say, and impressively. I think it gets the same setup here, and as long as we can run on, I think the 350 that it opened at is a very good bet. Happy to take that. Above and Beyond is interesting. If it goes to Newcastle, I'm interested in it there, but we'll get to that later on. Race 5, no idea.
Yeah, I'll just second that for you with Green Flash. I think it's going to be super hard to beat.
Race 5, I like Formentera in race 5. Now it's come here. Can get a better control of this race. Maybe lob off wants to Sisu, and I think will be tough to beat there. Anything in that race?
Oh, look, just thought Narrated might sit up on the pace and has good form in the wet. So I think it might be hard to get past. But yeah, not overly keen. But I think pointing to the fact that it's very consistent, sits on pace, and likes to sting out of the ground.
Race number 6. I'm giving, well, now it's had the run. Speed Legend was a year between runs, resumed pretty well here, up in trip suits as well. And obviously, all fitness is going to help. Maybe going off a run early, but I think at the 650, happy to have an each way bet to find out in a tricky race. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I thought the same. I thought Speed Legend could be the horse to beat in a pretty open affair here. A little bit of money for it. It's been backed in from the sort of $8.50 to $6.50. Yeah, I think it might be a nice little bet.
Where to next?
Look, I did move to the 7th, and I thought Tiny gets drawn a little bit off the track. I think he can get into the running line. It's got a good finish. If they're finishing on in there's better goings out a bit wider, could be hard to beat. 2 starts back, ran well on the heavy. Only just beaten by 6 again, and I thought it was reasonably good run last start. Wasn't far off them. Looks to handle it's 1, 2 out of 3 of the soft, so that'll do me.
Yeah, I sort of found it as well, but I'm a little bit sick of just tipping JMac going onto horses. But JMac does go on as well if you need the extra boost. The one at double figures I can give another chance to is El Buena. It not a lot of luck at Canterbury. It comes here again, drawn out, and Bowman maybe can give you a sight there. And I'm going to wrap up the day with my best, which is Sir Lemur. Very nice resumption. Then not the greatest of luck. It probably should have almost beaten Norwegian Bliss. Second up gets JMac, gate 4, and will be hard to beat. What are you thinking there?
I'll second that.
Perfect. As I said, my best there. And I'll make my value on the night El Buena for progretracing.com.au and your best and value at Canterbury.
Yeah, I'll go Green Flash just to be different. I don't think Sir Lemur's a very nice bet as well. And my value bet, I'm going to go race 6, number 9, Speed Legend.
Very good. This has been our very quick look at Friday night resumption of the resumption of Friday night racing for Show Us Your Tips and Pro Group Racing. Stick around. We'll be back with a full preview of the Hunter and Cranbourne Cup cards very soon. Catch you guys. As I try and press